Welcome to back to BK's Bullets. I'm here as always, well, recently always, with my buddy James Ephantis II.
Hello.
Not Junior, the second. He's got a long legacy there. Jim, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Is this BK's Bullets again?
It's BK's Bullets because you didn't come up with
I
the
thought we
name.
were going to call it BJ's.
BJ's? That's a little on the nose there, my friend. We didn't come up with a name, so we're sticking with BK's Bullets.
That's fine.
That's fine.
That's fine.
So, Jim, we're in the middle of E3. Today is Thursday. What do you watched all of the press conferences on Monday.
I did.
You took the day off from work to do so.
I did.
Let's start with Xbox, since that seemed to be the source of all your rage hate last week.
Well,
What did you think of Xbox's presentation?
well, So Xbox initially had said that they were going to do a two-part conference. So the first one you saw when all my hatred came out was more console-based. Like, what are the features of the console?
All the TV stuff that Brent likes.
Which infuriated me as a gamer. And I told you I felt alienated as a gamer. And Microsoft said they would make it up to us gamers on E3. And on that point, they did deliver.
They made it up.
It was nonstop. It wasn't any...
No television. No Halo TV show news.
No high-level marketing slides about how the sales of the console are. They started off with some old 360 stuff that they still got in the pipelines.
Which I think is cool. I
Yes.
like being an Xbox Gold member now because I'm going to get some free games out of it. I just got to make space and download them and make sure they're attached to my profile. I think that's pretty neat.
That was a big deal that they're going to start giving away some free stuff. I mean, it's crap right now, but it may get better.
Fable 3 is out right now. They also announced Assassin's Creed 2.
Assassin's Creed 2.
I might give that a shot since I like that one a lot. And Halo 3 was the third game that they announced that more throughout the summer. But Fable 3 is free right now if you're an Xbox Gold member.
Right.
You can jump up on there and download to your hard drive.
See if you can make it longer than I did, because I think I owned it for about 30 minutes.
Well, I think it'll be interesting, and I'm definitely going to check it out
You try
since it is free.
When you get to the first town and it sucks, you take it back.
I can't take it back, but that's not the bad part.
Your time. You can't take
You can't take my time back. Aw.
So anyway, as far as the E3 presentation, Microsoft was just nonstop, game after game after game. I could go into excessive detail on every single game, but I'll give you some high-level takeaways here. The first takeaway I took was, short of Dead Rising 3 and potentially Halo. They had this really interesting Halo trailer. It was just called Halo. It didn't say Halo 5.
It said Halo coming 2014.
Don't know what that means. Was it Halo 5?
Well, the thing that we were texting during our
Yes.
while all this was
I still
going
have
on.
it. I'm going to post that.
I got it. It's we had a good time. I was at work and had the Engadget Live blog up since I couldn't stream anything. Would have liked to watch it, but I was following the live blog and reading tweets. Basically, they're tweeting and stuff, and it goes into this script, and they're posting pictures. I'm assuming they had like a camera that is hooked up to 3G or Wi-Fi or something that uploads it. They figured out where to upload it right away, so that was pretty neat.
Yeah.
I always like when they do that for Apple and any sort of Microsoft. And they did it all throughout E3.
Yeah.
Which was nice for me because I didn't skip work to watch these things. It's not bad that you did. I'm just saying that I didn't. I could have. I very well could have. Maybe I should have. I don't know. But no, yeah. So we were texting through Google Talk, and I said during that Halo thing, at the end of that Sand trailer, it said Halo: The Journey Begins 2014, and I was kind of like, what the fuck was Halo 4 then?
Right.
If that was not the new start of a trilogy,
if that was
and a big hit with everybody, and everybody loved Halo 4,
So maybe it's the new journey of a TV show or something. We don't know. Microsoft's been tight-lipped on it.
The expanded Halo universe.
So short of Halo and Dead Rising 3, which I know you borrowed Dead Rising and you thought it was horrible.
Well, I had like that Fable 3 experience with you. I got in and it was so slow, and I guess I was turned off because I remember the game being old.
It was.
The game was pretty old. It's one of the first games.
It might have been a 360 launch title. If it wasn't, it's
close to it.
It's 6 years old now. So yes, you got.
So the graphics were a little bit dated for me.
It loaded a long time, but you got to remember when that game came out, there was nothing like that. There was
Right.
no open world type run around and just kill zombies, and it's it's been a formula that's been copied 1,000 times over now. But when that game came out, I was like, whoa. So,
if I get an Xbox 360 or Xbox One,
Which you won't.
which I might, since won't. Jim says he won't.
I won't let you.
But he won't let me.
Friends don't let friends get.
All right. If I somehow end up with an Xbox One by winning a contest or something,
Losing a contest. Hey!
I will check out Dead Rising 3.
And it looks good. Now, okay, so what I was getting at, my point though, short of Dead Rising 3, I didn't see any. And Halo. I didn't see any Xbox exclusive game that made me want to go buy it day one.
You were talking about Titanfall, though. That's Xbox exclusive.
It is Xbox exclusive, but it's coming out on computer.
Oh, okay.
So most games, I'm trying to think of any. There's a few now because that's an independent developer. Like you're not going to see Uncharted on a computer. You're not going to see. Well, you did see Halo 1 and then they stopped it.
They had two.
For computer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They had games for Windows Live that's kind of fallen by the wayside. They may bring it back with this Windows 8 push. I don't know. But general takeaway from Xbox One, I didn't see anything, like I said, that made me just like, I got to have this. They didn't sell me on that. Yes, the graphics look cool. Forza 5, that's another exclusive. I shouldn't say that. Forza 5 does look really good.
You are a Forza fan.
I'm a Forza fan.
What are you playing now? Forza World or what's that
Horizon.
Called? Horizon.
I still got the wheel. I still play it. I enjoy that a lot. So I am kind of sad that the fifth one is, I would pass up on that. But I didn't see anything. And I think just reading through a lot of the commentaries of other bloggers and other people, it was kind of the general takeaway. A lot of great games. We saw. They opened up with Metal Gear Solid 5, which was just blew me away.
Now, is that going to be an Xbox exclusive?
It is not, but it used to be back in the day a PlayStation.
It was
exclusive.
PlayStation,
and then they opened.
And
up
then with this generation, it was been both.
They opened up the floodgates. They just released a best of pack, but it's only on Blu-ray and it's not for Xbox. So there's still some exclusivity that you can only get on the 4 or on PlayStation 3. Metal Gear Solid 4 is a PlayStation 3 exclusive. So that's cool to see Solid Snake make the jump.
With Jack Bauer as the voice.
It is, yes.
Kiefer Sutherland.
Technically it's Big Boss, which is Solid Snake's dad, but it's him because it's a clone. But anyway, that's another podcast. Solid Snake is a clone of a Les Enfants Terribles project where he was cloned. Brent doesn't care. Anyway, moving on.
I don't know.
Point is this. It's exciting to see some of the next-gen stuff. I was really surprised they didn't do much with Kinect. They didn't show much Kinect at all.
They had the Rise demo, which looks kind of normal, but when I read past what they showed in the presentation, it sounds really neat. So basically, Rise, RYSE, you are a commander of a Roman legion. You're fighting other civilizations and barbarians and stuff. And there's a long demo, but basically what I read is there's a bunch of commands and quick time events in there. Like he'll form up with his other guys and form the shield
phalanx
turtle and stuff, like a phalanx move. But apparently you can yell these commands, arrows and shields, at your controller or at your Kinect, basically, and the guy will mimic them, and that'll be your voice commands, which is I thought it was pretty neat.
Stuff.
Rather than doing some executable button combo or in the past it's been mapped to the D-pad. I think that's cool and makes you feel a little bit more in game. I'm excited to see that functionality.
I had read that the new Splinter Cell game will have Kinect functionality where you can tap your head, the side of your head, to change your visor out.
On the Xbox One or the 360?
Xbox One.
That's coming out for Xbox One, as well as 360.
All of them. Yeah, well, you're in that transition period now where games are going to be coming out for everything.
Okay. All right.
So there's some Kinect stuff that is kind of exciting.
And stuff like that. And I sent you an article about people, maybe moving your head or tapping your head. I think would be pretty cool. Or Twitch leaning one way or the other to do like a bank shot or peek around a corner or stuff like that. I think would be really neat.
But specifically to Rise, what I thought was interesting was when they demoed this last year at E3, Rise was a Kinect. Did you see that commercial? I was telling you.
No, I didn't.
There's a commercial where it's like a guy standing in front of his TV and he's putting his arm up and he's stabbing the air and it's like, you are the controller.
Right.
So they took all that out. So to me, I don't know if you may be reading too much into it or not enough into it, but you've got this new Kinect with all this great fidelity and everything, and they're pulling a lot of that stuff out. It totally changed how Rise operates.
I think they probably figured out what kind of gamers want to play with Kinect.
I think so. I'm glad that they did. I agree with you. I don't think they're pushing it down people's throats anymore.
Because like you and I tried this Marvel Connect fighting game a couple months ago. I downloaded the demo just to see what it is, and basically it was pretty awful. You had a certain number of moves you could do as the character, but basically instead of punching and in the Kinect tracking your movements and stuff like that, you had to strike a certain pose, and that would execute a combo or a move, and I thought that was pretty lame.
Bending dog.
Yeah.
The sleeping dog.
Downward sniffing dog.
Yeah, whatever. So, so just as a whole, though, when Microsoft released their price, I was kind of expecting a price point in that area. They didn't get as much applause as I thought they would. It was kind of a slow clap. I mean, there's been some videos online where they totally edited all the applause out, and the guy's like stammering and stuttering all over himself. But wasn't really blown away with the price point. And that was my biggest concern last time in talking with you was you're going to be paying for all this crap you don't want. And sure enough, $500 for a new console, that's a lot, especially when PlayStation unveiled their price. So, it is going to be a gaming console. They did talk a lot about the cloud.
Well, what were some of the things that was cloud processing in the Xbox?
Well, the big ones it seems like they're doing, they didn't specifically say anything was 100% cloud processed.
Well, you pulled some stuff out.
One of the examples that I saw was in Forza 5, for example. Basically, everything you do in the game is going to be recorded.
Right.
And it's going to make like a virtual avatar of you, like your driving style. Like if you're really, if you're a clean racer, you crash into everybody. And when you're not playing, the cloud is going to play for you on other games. And you're going to be racing against other people.
Oh, yeah. And I was like, why? What's the fucking point in playing the game?
Exactly. Now? So that's interesting. So that's one aspect of cloud.
It could earn you points, right?
That's one aspect of cloud processing. They had talked about unloading some AI into other games to make, maybe to free up some of the processor space. But it seemed to me the biggest thing with the whole cloud was really blurring the lines between a seamless single player and multiplayer game. Like people can jump in and off on your game at any time without any issue. And that seems kind of neat. I don't really know why, I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but comparing that to PlayStation 4, PlayStation 4 talked about that in some of their demos, where you'll be playing a game and suddenly people jump in, play with you, jump out.
Well,
so you don't really know if you're playing against AI or another guy.
Destiny and The Division and all these games where it's an open world they're now online open worlds.
Correct.
And one of everybody was complaining about was the always online functionality and stuff like that, and I was kind of like, I don't understand the big deal with it, because if you're going to be playing Destiny and The Division and games like this where you got to team up with other people or there's events, then how is always online? I could see how it'd be a bad thing, but I don't see how it could be a major point of contention when you have these games that require it. Right. Or like Forza, for example, would be a game that you probably don't need it, but it wouldn't hurt you to be online because you can join up and your friend can pass you by or whatever in this giant world.
Correct. I guess I didn't really see any need to always be. They didn't really make a compelling case to me that you have to always be connected. Short of the point of the game being right. I mean, obviously playing online you need to be connected. But I was hoping Microsoft would make more of a sell of their DRM and why you have to authenticate every day. And, I assumed that the games they were going to show was going to take greater advantage of that. Mm-hmm. But I didn't see anything that, really forced me to be online, short of my friends maybe jumping in and out of a game with me. Although all the games were playable without that connectivity. So, I didn't have to have a Ghost of You on Forza to race. It was just there. It was a nice bonus, but I didn't need it. So, they didn't make a really compelling argument to me that's like, hey, we're going to always be online, but here's why. Here's what you're going to get. Mm-hmm. So the
Twitch TV thing is
there's some neat stuff,
with the smart glass integration and stuff, and I'm interested to see where that goes with the smart glass, and apparently that's how you post your all this share and social stuff that the PS3's got a fucking button for goes through the Xbox Smart Glass.
Well, it's because Smart Glass doesn't even connect directly to your console; it goes through the internet and comes back down.
Right.
So. Yeah, I guess I could understand in that capacity.
Which I like, because for me, if I'm playing the PlayStation game and I press the Facebook share button or whatever it is, and then it goes up there, then I have to navigate some stupid, because there's no Connect system with Facebook.
Right.
There's no voice integration or anything, or with PlayStation, there's no Connect.
Nope.
There's no voice integration or yelling or anything like that. I have to probably navigate some cursor menu typing thing to title my video, and I recognize I could upload it and go back later and edit it, but for people who are doing it, you're probably going to want to do something. Whereas with my smart glass, using Twitch TV, which
right.
I've never used or looked at before, so I don't know if you can take it down and port it to YouTube or whatever, if there's links to that. But I'm assuming that you just bring up your keyboard on your device and type in that, hey, this is me beating the shit out of Brennan and Justice. Watch, it's awesome.
7-5 today. You did
7-5.
well.
Okay, but we didn't play as long.
We did good.
We did good. We had some fun.
We did.
But I could see that being a lot better bonus. But I was
right.
I was interesting how PlayStation made a big deal about that in their announcement conference. And here it was kind of an aside thing. Hey, we're gonna have Twitch TV thing on our smart glass, and right. You can go there. Mm-hmm. But it seems like the reactions that I read, it seemed like Twitch TV is a bigger get than YouTube or Facebook or Ustream that PS4 has.
Twitch TV is a big deal, and that was another takeaway I had. Is Microsoft spent a lot of money wrapping up exclusives. They got, well, I say exclusives, but like they get DLC first on both Call of Duty now and on Battlefield. Mm-hmm. They completely bought out Titanfall, 100%.
Right.
They're the only console that's going to get it. Twitch TV. So it seemed like they were spending a lot of money to wrap up a lot of these things, and it doesn't go unnoticed that they're making a push to posture themselves. So I do take a little bit of a step back, saying that last week or the last time we talked, I was really bummed out about how I felt like they were snubbing the gamers. I do feel like they gave some back, and I think that's a good thing. It's a good takeaway, but they're always online. Their 24-hour connectivity and their used game thing, I think it still just kills everyone. It's really a low. There's no reason to do it, and it's frustrating.
It is frustrating. I was kind of wondering if maybe they saw EA do this online pass stuff, and were they the only major publisher that was doing it?
Well, EA,
I know Ubisoft had a code when I bought Assassin's Creed 3. I had to enter in.
A lot of games do. EA had it. Ubisoft had it. Even PlayStation's exclusive titles like Uncharted, you needed a code to play online.
Huh.
So
okay.
that's SCEA. That's Sony corporate.
Right.
That's their homegrown brand. So that is a common thing, unfortunately. So
maybe they saw that on this last generation, people putting it in the software and publishers doing their own thing. So maybe they just decided to take the next step in that what they saw as that evolution.
That's possible.
And then people backlash, and then Sony backs out of it, which I thought was strange. Thinking about it that way, they kind of maybe they're being futurist and they see it going that way. We'll probably never get away with it. If Sony's saying that they're not going to have anything in their software to stop it or to institute it, but they're still going to leave it open to publishers,
right.
We may still get EA and Ubisoft doing things on the PS4. Even though the PS4's, quote unquote DRM and used games free and shit like that.
Well, that kind of segues into the PlayStation 4 because I thought they started first of all, their press conference was like 20 minutes late. So I was waiting for it. I'm streaming it. They said they'd be on. I'm waiting. It's not coming up. I'm hitting refresh. I'm like, oh shit, it's not working. I can kind of hear people in the background. Finally starts. I'm like, okay, now I'm already nervous. Like we already started off on a bad foot. Then they come out, it's weird, and PlayStation comes out and starts talking about TV. And I'm like, wait a minute, you just postured yourself as the gamer's game console, and now you're telling me about all these partnerships with online movie passes, and I'm like, uh-oh. I thought they drank the Xbox Kool-Aid, and they're like, hey, we're going to do all that too. We're going to have... we want to throw our hat in there.
Well, I think it's smart. If they're going to be a true competitor to Xbox, they need to have some sort of equivalent.
I agree.
And PlayStation is funny. Sony is in more of a position to do that because they own a movie studio. They own the rights to Spider-Man and not Fantastic Four, but Spider-Man's under their control from the Marvel properties, and they have a couple other movie franchises and stuff like that. So they're kind of more in a better position to do that than Xbox is. because they could put it on some exclusive rights. You know, hey, Amazing Spider-Man 2 comes out on Blu-ray. Maybe the digital version's exclusive to Sony PlayStation 4 for 3 months. And then after that, you can go buy it on iTunes or Xbox or Amazon. Okay. Maybe they'll do stuff like that in order to get people to use their downline or online content system.
So maybe that's a good point. I didn't think of it that way. It does make sense that they're going to posture.
It makes sense to me that they're posturing up for that, because when somebody's weighing them outside of the price point, then you know, okay, does it play games? Yes. Does it play Blu-rays? Yes. Can I buy movies and watch and music and listen to music and do all these things? Yeah, I can do that on both of them, just in different ways. Okay. Right. Whereas if that was a major point for somebody, I want to be able to buy my movies and stuff on my TV through whatever system that is, and a PS4 didn't have something on it, then they would probably lose that battle to Xbox. So it makes sense that they have to do some sort of integration with movies and music and television.
Okay, that does make sense.
Is that something that PlayStation 3 does now, or no?
PlayStation 3's got similar apps like the 360 does, where you got the little app store kind of thing. Not as many as Xbox.
But there's no PlayStation doesn't have, like, I can go in the Xbox store and buy a movie and buy a TV show.
They did
the Windows 8. Basically, it merged with the Windows 8 store, the Windows Store. PlayStation doesn't have like that anything right now for PS3.
It's got a game store, but it's not really fleshed out like Xbox is.
But you can't buy a movie direct to your PS3 and watch it like that.
I don't think so. You might be able to run them. You might be able to run them through the...
Okay.
I honestly don't know, because it was never sold to me the way Xbox 360's was.
Well, and their menu's a little weirder to navigate.
They got that stupid crossbar. It's really hard to navigate, and
that's what turned me off about it.
They got like a PlayStation Home thing, which is like this virtual world. You can make like a virtual avatar, make a virtual house. Nobody uses it. It might have been pulled. I don't know. But I don't think PlayStation thought in terms of that. And Microsoft really made advances this generation with the online store, renting content, getting demos. Because even like on PlayStation, if you download something, after you download it, you got to install it.
Wow.
So it's a two-step. It's like similar to like downloading a file on your computer, then running the executable. As where Xbox is like
funny.
Done.
The Windows machine does it automatically.
Exactly. So little things like that, it really makes you say, geez, you know, Sony definitely didn't have their act together for this generation. As far as that, they didn't think along those lines. So I do got to give Xbox 360 credit for really stepping it up in that capacity.
The 360s rehashed their menu every year and added new features to their online stuff. And I don't know if Sony's done anything like that.
No, they don't have like a friend system as well as Microsoft. They do, but it's not as good. They don't have a party chat where like we could be playing different games and talking and send messages and that, you know, invitations and beacons.
Is there stuff coming... like that with the PS4? Did they talk about that?
Yes, they did. So there's going to be doing some cross-play chats. You can start connecting different devices, talking to each other. They're really vamping up their PlayStation Plus, which is required for online play now. That was kind of a behind-the-scenes thing.
Right. It was a bullet on the bottom.
So you do need that now. But yeah, I think they're going to step it up. I mean, we haven't seen too much of it yet. I mean, E3 was a limited window, and it was more... Even though they kind of waffled at the beginning, in my opinion, they did start off with PlayStation 3, some new exclusives, or not exclusives, but support with that. They talked about the Vita, and then they went full in, just like Microsoft, and just Game-a-Palooza. And again, just like Microsoft, I didn't see any launch title that blew me away that was an absolute PlayStation exclusive. They didn't show anything about Gran Turismo. As a matter of fact, there's a new Gran Turismo coming out for PlayStation 3.
Wow.
They didn't show anything for, other than Second Son, which isn't a launch title. They didn't really show anything that was like, wow, I gotta have that. You know what I mean? And I was really frustrated because neither PlayStation or Xbox sold me on, hey, day one, you gotta get this game because whatever, and you can only get it here. Even Titanfall. Titanfall isn't a launch title.
2014. Along with Halo.
So, and the demos that really shined for PlayStation were games you can get anywhere. Watch Dogs, The Division, which I believe is going to be for both systems.
Mm-hmm. Destiny.
There's a game coming out.
I'm surprised they didn't come out with Uncharted 4 or God of War, Killzone.
There is a Killzone.
Well, I'm surprised we didn't see more, maybe.
That is a launch title, but it's not one that for my opinion, it wasn't one that was like, oh my god,
it's not a huge franchise like Halo is in terms of Halo.
They wanted it to be, and it never was. So
maybe Call of Duty Ghosts is a launch title for both systems, and that's kind of their bank.
But typically, up until now, you've always had a system that comes out with like a Mario. Like you're only getting this game here,
right?
And this is it.
And that was Crash Bandicoot on the original PlayStation.
Some hype or Halo or Forza or Project Gotham Racing or something that no one else had, or Gran Turismo that's like you gotta have. So I do gotta knock both Microsoft and Sony for not building up my hype. If it wasn't for Ubisoft or EA, as much as I don't really like them, hyping up some of these games coming out, I'd be like, eh. Mm-hmm. But what really sold me, and I'm sure everyone else, was when PlayStation first puts up the bullet points. You can watch it on YouTube. You get goosebumps watching it. People standing up and cheering.
I saw that, yeah.
And I'll tell you, it's a sad state of gaming when all they're doing is keeping what had been around for the last 25 years.
Since the inception of gaming.
Since Atari, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, N64.
Before the internet.
Genesis, TurboGrafx 16, ColecoVision.
Oh my god.
Game Boy Advance,
Virtual Boy,
PlayStation 1, the original Xbox, the 360, the PlayStation 3. All you're doing is you're keeping the same stuff. And when people cheer for that tells you, in my opinion, how bad Microsoft really messed this up. When you're just saying, hey, we're doing the same shit we were before, people are like, oh my God.
Right.
Like, you are,
Yeah.
So that was to me, I was already nailing in the coffin then. But then when they flipped the screen...
If you weren't paying attention, PlayStation came out and said, there's no DRM on our system.
No DRM.
You don't have to pay any fees. You can trade a game and have it back and keep it.
Keep it.
There's no sort of...
Just like it is now.
There's no sort of digital bits nonsense.
Now, they may end up, just like EA may recall their statement about the online pass, and they may reinstitute that where if I had, I install Uncharted and I get the code to play online and I give it to you and you don't have the code because I already used it, you may have to pay a fee directly to Ubisoft or to EA, well, not Uncharted because that's a Sega game or Sony game, right to Sony or whoever, it doesn't matter. You may have to pay one of those little one-time codes. So, but Sony has no control over that. They don't. They've said that they're not happy about it. They're not taking the stance on it, but hey, it's developers' world. So that was kind of, like I said, the beginning of it. And then they showed the price. And they showed the price, and about 2 seconds later, my phone buzzed with Amazon, and I pre-ordered it right then. Right then, I pre-ordered it. Amazon, bing, hey, you want to pre-order? Yes, I do. So
what is the price, Jim?
$3.99.
$3.99 launching.
And again, I can only go back to what I said before about you're paying for all this stuff from Microsoft, whether you want it or not. All these add-ons, all this Kinect, all these other things, I think that's where the difference comes in. But what's really surprising...
Yeah, the Kinect when it launched by itself was...
Like $129?
$150, somewhere abouts,
What really is confusing, though, is if you look at the tech specs, PlayStation 4 is actually better, technically. It has better parts in it. So you're getting more... And I guess Microsoft's really banking on this service. I mean, they really want you to buy into that. All that legwork they did... for changing the inputs and all the new bells and whistles and wrappers around games, they're going to get you for it. So, it was really surprising. I've been watching. I've been playing games my whole life. I've been watching E3s as long as I can remember. I've never seen a company ever come out deliberately and show something to basically like F you to the other company. They skirt around issues a lot and stuff. But, I mean, they never once came out and said, unlike Microsoft, ... But, I mean, they were like, unlike other competitors, it's like, gee, who are we talking about? Not Nintendo. They didn't show up. It was really like, hey, and to hear people cheer in the crowd, I mean, that was a genuine reaction. I mean, that's a big deal. And I do applaud Sony for backing the gamers because I do think that they could have easily gone the same way as Microsoft did, and then you're stuck. But they didn't. And now whether they take a loss for that, whoever wins these console wars, who won E3, whatever, I don't care. But to me, as a gamer, I'm like, thank you for at least... And it's funny, again, I'm thanking them for doing the same thing they did a week ago.
Right.
But
for keeping their policies the same.
But I'll tell you, people are really riled up about that. And I think there's something to be said about that.
The pre-orders on Amazon have sold out for the initial order.
Amazon did this thing where they call a launch edition and a standard edition identical. Launch edition's a guaranteed. You'll be in the first lot. I don't know how many they know they have, and then standard edition is lot 2, 3, 4, whatever. TBD. So Microsoft had the same thing. They had a day one edition. Those have already sold out. So now they have just standard edition. Same thing where you won't get it the day of. So we'll see. I mean, I've pre-ordered stuff before and been burned. If I got to go wait at Walmart, I will. But even though there's, like I said, there's really nothing that like sold me like on a PlayStation. You're like, well, why would you get it? You just told me there was nothing on day one. There really wasn't anything exclusive to either of them. Watch Dogs will be out for PlayStation 4. That one's really caught my eye. That'll probably be the first game I get. Knack didn't do anything for me. There are some other ones. Battlefield, good for computer.
You get Assassin's Creed 4.
Assassin's Creed, I believe that'll be a launch. Yeah, because that'll be out beforehand. So, but yeah, and you know, it's just very bizarre to me. So there's a lot of animosity and hate, and it's anymore now on the internet. It's this atmosphere that if you like something Microsoft, you're the devil. It really is, and they did that to themselves. I mean, press is goofy, and not just about video games, just in general. You know, the bandwagons everybody jumps on, and pick any popular news story, OJ, Trayvon, whatever, polarizes people immediately.
Now, why did you only pull out stories of black people?
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm gonna drink some water now. Hold on.
Michael Jackson.
So
Michael Jackson was white.
Michael Jackson. There you go.
He was white when he died.
When he died.
Whitish.
Okay. So you sent me this video of the price, Microsoft price versus the PS4 price. So did they actually, the guy talking to when Microsoft said $499, did he actually mess up and say pounds?
He did stutter.
He did have that.
Well, because they're like, you know, $1 US, 2 pounds, or 8 yen, or whatever it was. I don't know the ratios. He did stutter briefly, but somebody did edit the crap.
Oh, okay. So I was wondering. I was like, damn, he's stuttering like a motherfucker.
But it, you know, even though, again, that was weird. It was kind of a high price point because this reminds me of go check the PlayStation 3 launch when they announced $600.
Yeah, it
was dead in that auditorium. People were like gasping, like I can't believe you're asking that much. So it kind of had that vibe again with the new Xbox One.
But I think you can say that it's justified if the console itself costs $399 and then you throw in the brand new super enhanced Kinect for $100 rather than $150. You're making you buy it separately. Sure. I have as a consumer less of a problem getting it than if I bought it separately. If I had to buy an Xbox One, and if I had to buy a Kinect One separately, then I would probably wait on the Kinect. But since you're, making it a core to the system and the experience and stuff like that, it makes sense to me.
So, and the other of the big three, although really they've kind of fallen off the radar, Nintendo does their Nintendo Directs now, which are just online videos. They didn't do a big E3 thing. Nintendo's trying to reach out to the people. So the next day after all Nintendo Directs at participating Best Buys and sometimes GameStop, I think, you can try all the new stuff. So they have demos there set up now. So that's kind of cool. It's bringing like E3 to the people, which I do appreciate, but Nintendo didn't show up. I mean, literally, like, physically they weren't there, but like they're big, like, we'll pull the curtain back and Mario Kart's cool. Smash Brothers we've been waiting for, that's cool.
With Mega Man now.
Neither of them are coming out for like a year. 2014 question mark.
Seriously?
Yep. They rehashed a Nintendo game or a Mario game. They rehashed a Donkey Kong game. No Star Fox, no F-Zero, no Kid Icarus, no Metroid. They got a Zelda game, which is a rehash of an old Zelda game. So yeah, there's a new Pokemon, which I'm sure a lot of people are happy about. So I mean, I guess I shouldn't say there was nothing, but I read an article today that Nintendo Wii sales have gone up 780% since Microsoft started off their E3 conference. When Microsoft did their own initial Xbox One announcement, 780% since then.
The Wii, not the Wii U?
The Wii U.
The Wii U, okay.
The Wii U, not the Wii. Wow. The new one. Which
interesting.
So there's a correlation there. I mean, and I think a lot of people people forget, like, when people are posting.
And how much is the Wii U? Is it $500?
No, I think it's like $399 or $379.
Really?
But they're doing bundles. No, Google it here. I'll look it up. They're doing bundles and stuff now where they're offering, select titles that come with it, or like they had a Zombie U edition,
Right.
and they have some other little, thrown in gamepad stuff. But to see that the prices are going up that high, I mean, or the sales are going up that high, that's really crazy. So that says something to me. And again, it's funny because PlayStation and Wii U does the same thing about the no DRM and all that stuff, and yet nobody's like cheering for Wii, which really kind of tells you, how far it's fallen off the radar. I mean, they're doing the same. For them to come out and say, "Hey, by the way, we're going to be, we're not offering used games or whatever." No one cares. But PlayStation comes out, it's like they invented bread, sliced bread or something. Mm-hmm. $350 for 32 gig console with that includes the gamepad controller. So $350. So still cheaper than both of them, but sales have gone up. And I will tell you that after watching all this stuff, I'm more inclined to get a Wii U. Xbox One for me is absolutely out. And until they can fix their DRM issue and they're always on, I don't like that idea.
But you're not we talked about this last time, but you're not a used game buyer. You're not a trade-in guy.
Solely on principle. And I'm not a big
because you're not gonna reward the company because they have the policy.
Right. And I'm still playing my 360. I still love it. I played it last night. There's still a lot of new games that I'm gonna get.
Well, Jim, if you want a no internet solution, Xbox 360 is your deal.
Don Matic is the biggest tool. If Mitch Dyer's listening, you've been dethroned.
Oh!
This yo-yo at Microsoft comes out and he says exactly what Brent just said. Well, we have a solution for that. It's called Xbox 360. No, dickhead. It's called the PlayStation 4. It's so insane that these guys have their heads so far up their assholes. I cannot believe it. It's crazy to me. It's one bad PR thing after another. And like I said, they've made this environment that if you talk about an Xbox One in an endearing term, like you will be lynched and killed. I mean, game sites.
This is why I only do it in the space of my own home.
Yeah, in your privacy of your own home.
And the internet.
Exactly. So, it's odd to me. Looking back on it all, I mean, E3 is dying off now. The final day is, I believe, today. I believe it's a half day today and they're done. It might have wrapped up yesterday. I don't know. I haven't seen videos trickling out. So all the big stuff comes out the first day. When Microsoft's giving their conference, when PlayStation's giving their conference, all the big dogs are getting their games in there. So you're not really going to see oh, by the way, here's Half-Life 3. It's like, whoa, where'd that come? That's...
Yeah, where the fuck is Half-Life 3?
Call Gabe Newell.
Crying out loud.
Call Gabe Newell and ask him. So he'll tell you. So to me, like I said, I don't brand a winner. To me, the winner's a gamer because we're getting a lot of great stuff. I would just really, again, I look.
But you say great, but you still said there's nothing that's.
There isn't anything that
to you that blew you away.
There's no exclusive launch titles that blew me away.
Okay, exclusive launch titles.
I don't see anything. I didn't see a compelling argument from either of those two companies to get anything on day one. Watch Dogs is going to be out for PlayStation 3. It's also going to be out for PlayStation 4.
Is it?
I think it's going to be better graphics for 4. That's why I'm getting it.
Okay.
And I'm a tech guy. I want to get this. I want to get the new stuff. I'm looking forward to getting a PlayStation 1 membership. They're throwing in some free games now too. Drive Club and some of their exclusive indie games. They're going to be giving those out for free. So, I'm converting back. I was sad about when the Xbox One came out, but I'm firmly in PlayStation camp now for sure. And I hope Microsoft reevaluates this. I look back to recent online games. I look back to SimCity. I look back to Diablo 3, where these games required you to be online. You had to, even for single-player experience, you had to go through their portal, and those servers could not handle it. I hope Microsoft has their act together, because I would be absolutely livid if on launch day I cannot play my games, or up to 24 hours, because I couldn't connect to the server to let them know.
Well, you damn sure probably got to boot it up and sign in and all these other things before you can play your game anyway. So if on launch day their servers don't even work to authenticate,
right,
to start that 24-hour clock, then I would expect it to be a big issue.
Like I said, I hope that doesn't happen because that gets you sick. And I mean, EA, was voted the worst company in America 2 years in a row.
2 years in a row.
Of every company. Every company.
Worse than the evil oil companies that are making dollars hands over fists.
And a lot of it has to do with this DRM. People just do not like it. If you think in 10 years from now...
Even iTunes did away with their DRM on their music.
See?
Not their movies so much, but their music. They did away with DRM after people complained enough.
Because people want to own content. They don't want to lease it. They don't want to rent it. They want to own it.
So why are we having this issues with the games now?
I don't know what I get. It must be a money grab.
And
but they're doing well.
Comic books is the same way too. I buy my stuff digitally on Comixology. Technically, I'm not an owner. I am leasing it as long as I have a Comixology account and Comixology is a business.
Yeah, exactly. And if they don't, or if their servers crash and you want to get something and you can't.
Well, that's why that's why they download to the device. But
that's good. But I mean, that's.
Comixology did have a big crash.
But you don't have to go on Comixology every 24 hours to say, hey,
no, I don't. No, I don't.
I'm on page 3 of Spider-Man. Wait, I'm still here. I mean,
that's right.
So
I do not.
So to me, like I said, looking back on the EA, their E3 this year, some good stuff that came out of it, some not so good stuff came out of it. To me, there's some really good games coming out. Real big takeaways I had. Actually, it was all Ubisoft, which is funny because did you watch the whole PlayStation press conference?
I didn't watch any full press conference. I watched snippets and I watched mostly gameplay demos and videos and interviews with the developers where they're describing what's going on.
So PlayStation's conference demoed Assassin's Creed 4 and it crashed. Like the game crashed.
Mm-hmm.
Like it kept staggering and then it stopped. And I'm like, uh-oh. Right? Like,
this is exciting television.
Is that Assassin's Creed crashing or is it the bad hardware crashing? So
it could have been the video interfacing system.
We don't know.
Had that huge screen and all this other shit.
What we do know is, despite that, which nobody seems to be talking about anymore, Ubisoft to me is a clear winner. Assassin's Creed 4, which everyone knew would be good. They showed some more gameplay of it. Absolutely seamless world, jumping in and out of the boat, on the fly.
When I saw that, you sent me this video last night, and it was I think the Revision 3 interview with the Assassin's Creed developer with Jim Sessler. Go check it out.
Adam Sessler. Yep.
Adam Sessler. IGN has a similar thing. I saw the same Ubisoft guy with their guys.
Yep.
But it was really cool. You jumped off of you were in the jungle fighting guys. Used 4 guns to go from one to the other, which I thought was pretty cool, like chaining gun things, which guns have never been awesome in Assassin's Creed because it took forever to use them. But I like the idea of if you've got 4 shots loaded, you can just execute the thing and have the guy take care of selecting which gun to use. Yep. That was neat. And then he jumped off of the cliff onto the beach and then jumped onto his boat, took the steering wheel of the boat and launched. Whereas Assassin's Creed 3, you had a loading screen.
And it was a separate
to launch a mission
in a separate naval menu.
World.
You were already in the boat. It wasn't like
right.
So the other thing they announced about Assassin's Creed 4, which I'm very excited about, is Desmond's story's done. No spoilers, but his story's done.
Right.
This is going to take place in the future where anyone can be in the Animus now. And you're going to play as a random Abstergo agent, first person, so you don't even know who you are. And you're going to be hooked into the Animus, and there's a certain reason you're reliving this part of history. They don't want to obviously reveal what it is yet. But they said that while the Animus is present, it's a very minor backseat. And it almost sounded to me, they didn't confirm this, it almost sounded to me like if you didn't want it, you didn't have to play with it. Like if you want to turn on the game and be a pirate, go be a pirate. It wasn't like every 10 minutes Desmond's like, what? And they pop out the Animus.
It wasn't 10 minutes. It was usually after major moments in the story.
I like that. To me, I love the science fiction wrapper. I love how they handled that in 2, where you had to find all the hidden puzzles and all the secret all the secret codes and all the old, military documents and find the hidden things in the pictures. I love that. And put together all these videos.
I like the stuff in 3 when you were in this little cave and had the little jumping things and stuff like that in the cave and see the ghosts. I like that part.
But that's now, it seems to me that's taken a backseat. So that's kind of good or bad, I don't know. To me, it's there. They said there'll be a lot of content and lore for dorks like me who are curious about that. I guess you could go freely explore. I thought it was interesting this time you're going to be playing as an Abstergo guy, not a Templar guy.
Well, Abstergo is the Templars.
I mean, an assassin.
Assassin, yeah.
Playing a Templar versus an assassin.
I was thinking maybe we'd have Desmond's dad in the Animus, and that's why we jumped back a generation, because his dad was in the Animus rather than his son.
He remembers it better?
That's right. Oh, I've heard these stories before. My son just died in a blinding white flash, I think. Saved us all. Did I get out of the cave on time? I don't know. No one cared about me at all.
So, that's Assassin's Creed 4. Another Ubisoft big hit to me was The Crew. That looks amazing. That's a racing game where it's open world. They're calling it a MMO car PG. That's what they're calling it. That's what they're branding it as, which is kind of homeowner.
See, what happened to Burnout? I like the Burnout games. Is this going to be my Burnout substitute?
Who made Burnout?
Maybe it was Activision.
I think
it's one of those big guys.
We'll Google it. I haven't seen a Burnout in a while, actually, and I'm really surprised. They used to be. I think honestly,
I would think with the days of the better graphics and textures, that a Burnout game where the whole point is you can race, but the whole point basically too was to smash into other cars and create huge chain explosions.
You know who made Burnout?
Who was it?
Your friends at EA. See, EA isn't so bad.
EA isn't so bad.
I think Burnout got burnt out because they were making them like every week.
They were.
It's like Burnout Tuesday.
Burnout 4. Burnout Revenge.
Burnout Friday afternoon.
Are you burnt out on Burnout?
So I haven't seen anything from them in a while. They did do one, looks like 2011, so you get your fix there. Burnout Crash. Here, let's see this.
Might go search
it. Might be a...
If it got bad reviews, I'm not going to search it out. The last one I played was for PS2.
Xbox Live Arcade, Burnout Crash.
Oh, it's an arcade game? Oh, it's just the Crash engine then. It's just you probably
The Xbox
jumped.
360 version also includes a Kinect mode, allowing players to use gestures to control the game.
Oh, sounds awful.
So you could do the beat off hand and your car explodes. All right, so The Crew looks good. Again, I've noticed, obviously, because we're doing the always on thing.
Car
now,
PG. So your character never jumps out of this car?
We don't know. I don't think so.
They didn't show it.
I don't think so. What it does, they didn't show that. They always showed you in a car, but that might just be cutting into the action. You may have a character behind the scenes.
I did see them, take. Is that the game where they had you can take the car all the way apart to the engine
Totally strip it to the frame.
Totally strip it to the frame and swap parts and all that stuff, which I'm not a car nut, so to me that wouldn't be so great.
Now they did have that on they did have that feature that does exist on Forza already. Not that graphically intense, but Forza you can change your shocks, your springs, your bumpers, your brake pads, your radiator type, your spark plugs. So they did have a lot of that. So I can't say that's revolutionary in of itself. It's just more eye candy than anything. What is interesting to me though is all these games are starting to go, since it's always on now, we're going to connect more socially. So you're going to play with your buddies and you're going to be a crew, and I'm going to have my buddies, we're going to be a crew.
But Jim, always on is a bad thing.
I agree. But they do have a single player component to it.
Okay.
So, but I don't know why you do this. The reason always on is dumb is because what if the servers don't work?
I get that part. So why design a game where
why the smart aleck comment?
Why design a game where you need to hang out with your friends to create a crew?
You don't have to. It could be AI. You don't have to. All these games are single player.
Okay, so is the world with the multiplayer portion of it separate from the single player?
No, that's what they're all.
So they're plugging in.
That's the big push. It's all this seamless. It doesn't start up and say, do you want to play single player or multiplayer? You just play. We're gonna put shit in the background for you, maybe. You want to play with your buddy? Here he is. You don't want to play with your buddy? It's AI 4. Whatever. So they're really blurring that line, which I do appreciate. I do like that a lot. Hopefully you don't get a lot of people who are jerks in the game, just want to harass you. But they did say something that I think is amazing, and this is something I think based on the power of these new consoles, even though I think PlayStation's is a little more superior, they basically mapped out most of the United States. So the guy said you could drive from New York to Miami. It'd take about 2 hours in game. Obviously, it's not like a 24-hour drive. That'd be pretty boring. And I'm sure you could port around, and you do experience all the different terrain types in between those two. So I thought that was kind of cool. So, the Crew I thought was one. And then almost identical to that, but with people, is The Division. We don't know much about that other than a demo.
It's Tom Clancy franchise.
Tom Clancy's The Division, so maybe that's based on a book. I don't know. If it's got the thing that worries me, if it's got a Tom Clancy's name on it, is it's going to undergo some significant scrutiny if he's branding it. So it's going to be a while before that one comes out. Although they haven't announced the release date, it's going to be a while. So that's very similar to The Crew, except you're with people. Again, you run around and like rob banks and, post-apocalyptic, kind of run around and shoot stuff, but with people instead of with cars. So Ubisoft's definitely kind of taking that market, and they've taken it. With those two games, I think they definitely got their niche in that. So it'll be interesting to see how those two pan out as development goes along. No word. I believe they're both for all systems, but really no word on that yet. They're really just kind of, giving a high-level preview right now to kind of show what they're thinking. So those are two games that really caught my eye. I'm trying to see what other games that were out there. Brent's Googling. What are you Googling?
I'm looking at Tom Clancy, and I don't see a game called The Division. A lot of movies.
Okay.
Rainbow Six was a book, which I read, which I liked.
Yep.
And
other games, we talked a little bit about Titanfall.
There's no Division game. There's no Splinter Cell game. I don't quite know why there's Tom Clancy. Blanky blank.
I think Splinter Cell was based on a character, though. I think he wrote a character, Sam Fisher, in his book.
There's no Splinter Cell book.
We should start BK's Bullets book reviews, and we'll talk about it.
God, how awful that would be.
And on page 47...
I'm going to stick with comic books. They're a little bit quicker and easier to read. Have a more prolific podcast then.
Titanfall, I thought that was a really cool-looking game. Brent's a homeowner.
No.
He didn't like... Brent
all I said was when I was looking at it was...
What's the direct
Does
quote?
no one remember Mech Warrior?
WTF. No one remember Mech Warrior? WTF.
I did not imply it that way.
Here's why Titanfall looks cool.
Okay.
Because it's not solely a mech, and you're not solely on the ground.
Which I like.
You're a combination
That's
thereof.
cool.
You got a jetpack, you can run on the side of buildings, so there's like a parkour type element to it. And I think they're going to make the level balance between the guys on the ground and the guys in the suits.
They better give you some really fucking powerful weapons to take down these
we'll see.
mechs.
We will see.
That looked neat. I will check that out when I get a next-gen console or something.
I'm flipping through some of the other launch titles to see. Walking Dead announced that
400 days.
400 days, which is going to be a in-between.
It's a DLC for Season 1.
But what's really cool is they said your save games will carry through to that. 400 days, and those decisions will carry on to Walking Dead Season 2, which is amazing.
I'm curious to download my Walking Dead game on my iPad, because I don't know if there's a cloud save or anything like that, because I did delete all my files off my iPad to make more space, so I might need to play again, but that won't be so bad. I enjoyed it. I can make some different decisions.
So that's cool that Telltale's really, really taken a hold in the immersion. I mean, you could argue, is that really like a game or more like an interactive movie or whatever, but it was really captivating to me. I'm excited anything else these guys put out there, so that's going to be really good. One of the big misses for me, I was really disappointed by, we actually got to see some gameplay footage of it, was the new XCOM game called The Bureau. I know you haven't played XCOM. I do have it for Xbox if you want to borrow it. XCOM is a turn-based strategy game where you suit up Marines and you go fight aliens. But there's so much more to it than that. There's a whole strategy behind building up your base, limited resources. You're basically like a world police force. So you don't have enough funding to protect all the countries. So some countries are going to back out. Some countries you're going to have to turn your back on. You don't have enough money to supply all your troops with the best gear and research all the best stuff. So you're basically playing a losing game, and that was kind of always the appeal of the game. Just to give you an example of the tradition of this game, in the first XCOM, it was for both computer and PlayStation 1, if you were playing too well, the enemy would attack your base and blow stuff up so that you would be at a disadvantage because they wanted it to make it challenging.
Huh.
So they actually, they would raid your base and blow stuff up the enemy attacked your base. You just lost all this stuff. No good luck. If you were, really, really good, which no one was. So that's kind of a miss. They came out with a new first-person shooter called The Bureau, which looks really dumb. And it reminds me of Mass Effect, and it looks bad. It looks really bad. And I hope, based on the negative feedback they got, that these guys rethink their strategy, because I think that one's going to be a stinker. 2 that I thought Brent would like, Lego Marvel Superheroes, which looks awesome.
Which the Lego games have gotten all pretty positive reviews.
Yeah.
They're all pretty much the same thing, but each one franchise differs. So I've always been interested to play one, but never enough to actually go out and get it.
They said there's going to be 150 different characters. I can't even name 150 Marvel characters. They said Deadpool will be in there.
Deadpool.
Which should tie in nicely with
that new Deadpool game looks pretty dope.
We didn't see anything about that, though.
Well, it comes out this month.
Well, why didn't they show
June or July?
June or July?
I don't know.
Another one I thought Brent would like, Arkham Origins.
Yes.
Which is pretty much exactly Arkham City.
Great.
But that's okay. They got it right. Now, one thing that I did watch, and there was some feedback on, some criticism on, is Batman has better stuff, even though it's an origin story, than he did later.
Batman doesn't take every gadget with him on every mission.
Did you watch the same video I did?
Yes.
Batman doesn't, he's got a stockpile. You're going to tell me that if Batman's trapped in a prison city, he's not going to have the best stuff?
They want to make the gameplay better, not worse. Would you want them to dial back the gameplay and stuff like that for a prequel story just because of that fact?
I don't think we need a prequel story. That's my point.
I'm with you there, but
I don't like this prequel story. And I'm glad they didn't do that with Second Son. It's just a new story, new guy.
I'd rather that
let's move forward.
If they have to go to a different publisher and tell a prequel story while Rocksteady's putting out the next Batman game with Kevin Conroy and all them back, I'm okay with that. And if it plays exactly like Arkham City, just Batman looks a little bit differently, it sounds different, if it's the same experience, and that's what I enjoyed about Arkham Asylum and especially Arkham City, that I'm okay with that.
Here's some I didn't get a chance to talk to you about. Did you get to see Saints Row 4? Have you played any of Saints Row games?
I've never played any Saints Row.
Oh, okay, so when Saints Row came out, it was like the GTA clone, Grand Theft Auto. It was like the Grand Theft Auto version. And it had a little bit of over-the-top stuff, but it took itself as seriously as Grand Theft Auto. We're going to have a story about the Saints, the street gang, and you work your way up the ranks and blah, blah, blah. And it was okay, but it was kind of, because you already Grand Theft Auto. You don't need it again. So the company wisely totally did a 180 and started making fun of that game and that type of game and have these goofy missions. That's where you had the people running around with the big dildos and all that kind of nonsense. And they made Saints Row 2, which was more over the top. Saints Row 3 even more, which they had Horde mode, W-H-O-R-E-D mode, instead of Horde mode like from my favorite Gears of War.
Which you won't get to play.
Nope, turning my back on them. And they can take a break after Judgment. I've noticed I don't play that as much.
Well, because Cliffy B. Well, let me borrow Judgment then, damn it.
Sure. So Saints Row 4 now takes place in like a alternate... It almost looks like a simulation, but you're a superhero. You're the president of the... You're the president of United Saints of America. You're the president. You have superhero abilities. You can run really fast. You can fly, shoot lasers out of your butt. And you basically just go around and just destroy things. And it looks really fun in a dopey way. So that's actually what I'm kind of interested in. It's just really over the top.
Did you ever play Hulk Ultimate Destruction for PS2?
I did.
That was an awesome game.
Yes, that was a really fun game. A lot of destructible environments and...
That's why it's called Ultimate
Destruction. Yes. So maybe Saints Row 4 will have that kind of destruction. We don't know yet. Battlefield has that. I didn't talk about that one because you don't care, but Battlefield looks amazing. I already pre-ordered that for computer. Already pre-ordered it. I'm already ready, and it's an EA game. Shut up and take my money. Looks amazing. I know you don't care. You should.
I've played Call of Duty. What?
This is not Call of Duty. This is Call of Duty with tanks.
I recognize that there's tanks and shit in
destructible. You're going to go inside a building and blow up like a 50-story skyscraper, and it's going to fall down dynamically in-game, and you're going to fight around it. You're going to be in jets shooting each other, tanks shooting each other. You got a commander, some fat cat sitting on his iPad. I'm looking at you, Brent. I really am looking at Brent. some fat cat on his tablet calling out orders. You're gonna have direct, just like in Battlefield 2. I don't know.
So I could actually come over and play Battlefield with you on my iPad and send things.
You could be on the headset,
and we can fight Wes, and I could royally fuck him up.
You could. We could be on the same team, and if I have a squad, they have 5-man squads, and I'm the squad leader. I have direct communication to you as the commander and to my squad, so we can all talk to each other. And you can you'll see the whole map. You can tell us where to go. Hey, Jim, go take B. All right, I'm on my way.
That sounds cool. I'll take part in that.
You're sitting there on your tablet. You can call in aerial strikes. You can get a survey. You could do UAVs.
That sounds pretty neat.
It's really great, and it's a very big, that's revolutionary gameplay.
Is that going to be on the 360 Smart Glass, or is that for PC only?
They didn't say, but I know it's coming for all current and next-gen consoles, so I don't see why it wouldn't be a Smart Glass thing.
Okay.
We don't know yet.
How is PS4 going to do that?
Great question. Well, PlayStation 4 did announce that they're going to have hookups with the Vita, so it might be through a Vita thing. I don't know. But no one plays Battlefield on console. I mean, you could, but that's just silly.
Okay, just silly.
It's just nonsense. That's like playing as Ariel. What's that guy's name in Injustice? The really bad, the guy that goes invisible.
Ares.
That's like playing as Ares in Injustice. Just don't do it. That's revolutionary gameplay. Putting a dog in Call of Duty is not revolutionary.
We scanned a real dog.
Again, that's what I mean. You have how many? Think about in the last 10 years. E3 has been around forever. Think about all the press conferences you've seen, all the releases you've seen, all the reviews you've seen. Where have you gotten this many sound bites against one company? I know technically that's more towards Call of Duty, but that's associated with the Microsoft reveal.
Okay.
So, please take that's a good.
I didn't jump up and go out and get Call of Duty Black Ops or Black Ops 2.
Yeah, I stopped at Modern Warfare 3, and it was fun.
I liked Modern Warfare 3. That's the last Call of Duty game I bought.
Yeah, I don't see...
I enjoy it.
They have a lot of nice set pieces, and I do have to give them credit for that. And I know their multiplayer is very niche, and it's the best-selling game, and it's broken its own record for the past 5 years. I have no doubt it'll continue to. But it's nice to see that Battlefield's still on the map and relevant, and it was nice to see that they got some game time during the E3. I mean, it was nice to see them out, and I think they've listened to a lot of feedback. They did have a commander mode in 2. They did have squad chat in 2. So they're bringing that back. They're doing the right thing. So I'm hoping it's a winner. I already pre-ordered. I'll tell you on day one. Elder Scrolls got a new MMO coming out. You don't play Elder Scrolls. You should.
So is that Skyrim and...
Yes. That's
Oblivion.
Skyrim, Oblivion. It's going to take place in the whole world of Tamriel, the entire continent, which is going to include places you went in Oblivion, which was in Cyrodiil. It is going to include all the Skyrim stuff, Daggerfall stuff from the original expansion.
So this is an MMO.
It's an MMO. You're going to play online. The big thing is Elder Scrolls was always a single-player game.
So it's Skyrim Online, basically?
Pretty much. Yeah, they're still...
So when you're playing Skyrim now, there's no online, there's no multiplayer. It's solely single player. Okay. I didn't know that. I thought maybe they would punch in people... It's just a full RPG.
And that's what's curious to see how this is going to work out, because it's an MMO type world with
tons of... You need to be online, Jim. I'm just saying. Everybody's bitching, but...
Okay, I'm not mad about...
You can't play Star Wars Battlefront without being online.
Yeah, you can.
Okay, you could.
Of course you... If it's a single player... Listen, that's like saying, the new consoles need power. See, they got you. Always need power. You can't trade games with your friends if you don't have friends. Yes, you're right. If you're going to play online, obviously you need an online connection. I get that. I'm not, like, in the Stone Age. But if it's a single player experience, if it's Diablo 3 by myself or StarCraft 2 by myself, why do I need to go through Blizzard for that?
I talked to Blizzard. I don't fucking know.
That's my point. But I don't think you should have to.
I'm with you.
Well, then why do you keep smiling?
I'm just, I like getting you worked up, just like when I got worked up when you
I had another thing.
Got me with Injustice. Okay, what about Destiny?
Okay, good.
Because we actually saw some gameplay this time.
That was actually next on my list.
And I am intrigued. It's another MMO shooter. It's a MMO shooter. MMO shooter. Like a mimosa? It's a mimosa.
Like Brent's a homeowner.
Homeowner.
Okay.
Looks cool. It's got looks like a lot of skill trees, and you can be a warlock or a tank or some sort of class system, plus an upgrade tree for your weapons, and it looks like a shooter.
Now you were impressed. Why were you impressed by that? What did it? Was it the graphics? Was it the gameplay? Because everything you said,
everything there, it looks like Halo. Yeah.
Well,
it looks like even I was looking at the reload animations and stuff like that, and it looks very similar to the reload animations in Halo that Bungie did.
So obviously Bungie made Halo, passed it off to 343, went on to make this.
Right.
So there is a lot of Halo elements in there. There's a lot of elements in there that I see from Borderlands with like the gun loot system or like Diablo, where like you're constantly killing guys and getting new weaponry and new upgrades and such. There is a skill tree, which a lot of games have. That's almost common.
Is Borderlands an online MMO game?
It's offline, but you can play co-op with your friends.
Okay.
But you don't have to be on.
Okay, because I was looking at that game, Borderlands 2, and I could never tell exactly what it was.
It's you by yourself, but you could play up to 3 friends.
Okay.
So and they could jump in and out. It's pretty standard.
I think that's what messed me up.
Yeah, I wasn't really blown away by Destiny. And I don't know if it was hype. I mean, it was pretty much one of the final reveals for the PlayStation. I think it was the final reveal.
It was.
It did hiccup a little bit, too, during their gameplay demo. Again, is it hardware? We don't know. But it wasn't... the way they show these commercials about, like, there's that one really cool commercial with the guy from Revolution where he's talking about the wolf and the pack, and you need them both, and these guys are wearing all these cool, like, Boba Fett armor, and they all got their backs to each other.
I'm more focused on the gameplay demo that they had at the PS3 conference.
Right. I didn't see that. I didn't get that feeling when I watched the demo. Or when I watched the demo, yeah, it had some cool lighting effects. The graphics obviously are gorgeous. Gameplay looked good. It was neat how people dropped in and out, but they did take a play from what Tryon Worlds did with Rift and what they did with Defiance, where they have these open world events that happen and everybody just runs to them. So they had at the very end of the demo, they were fighting like this giant robot or ship monster or something, and then suddenly some other squad came in to help out, and they were fighting together against this guy. So that's been around for a while. I think that's an awesome idea, by the way. I don't care if that idea is plagiarized. Rift started all that. Where they had, a world event's happening. All of a sudden, everybody, come on, get in, let's go. Defiance, Tryon Worlds game, same thing. So I do like that. I think those are fun. And that makes it dynamic because on those events, at least in Tryon Worlds, and I can't see why Destiny wouldn't do that, if you don't stop that event, it starts affecting your world. Like, they'll take over cities. You have to fight through cities to earn, if like an alien invasion happens and they like take out a city, you got to go in the city and clear it out. You can't go in the town and just buy stuff. It's not like isolated.
What I'm most interested in Destiny, because I'm a single player. I love campaign kind of stuff.
Enjoy your single player online, bitch.
So now they're forcing me to play online and stuff like that. I don't know how I feel about that right now, but I'm kind of wondering what the single player experience is and the campaign and how you tell a story in this big open world.
Absolutely.
If your story is, hey, you got to go fight so-and-so, big boss number 5. And then big boss number 5 drops because you triggered it because of your story, but then you got 14 other assholes that kill him before you do, and by the time you get there running because you triggered this event, then it's gone. And how do you tell a story that way? That's what I'm...
There are tricks in MMOs. Warcraft does that with instancing. So even though we're all online together, you'll just like phase out of reality and you'll be in your own little bubble. And then once you leave the little area, you're back with the reality. Like we could be walking side by side and suddenly you just phase out. I'm like, where'd you go? Oh, and then you're doing your own thing and I don't see it. So there may be something like that. I don't know. We don't know enough about the story yet, so it's hard to be too critical of it.
Because I get the co-op thing, because you can do that with Halo now and stuff, and it's 2 guys and play with your buddies, but you're both experiencing the same story.
Correct.
How that happens in an open world type game when the world exists 24 hours and there's people all over the planet doing it. I don't understand. And the other thing, too, is if you're doing a big story, like I know maybe some MMOs do this, like a certain month, this is going on, this is going on.
Yep, they do holiday events.
How do you experience that story when it's already happened or you missed it?
Well, yeah, and that's
you come late to the Xbox One or PlayStation 4 and you buy Destiny,
level 1
and the game's dead.
Gank 'em.
And the game's dead.
You're right.
Because everything's already happened.
Well, that's going to be a challenge for the Crew. That's going to be a challenge for the Division and all these other games that are the new Need for Speed game. Well, that's more individual based, but you could jump in and out on that one too. So yeah, you're right. There's going to be these games that have stories that is going to be open to the world. The world might influence things that maybe affect your story.
Because I could see the Crew coming out and being cool for a month or two and stuff like that, and then the next Assassin's Creed or Halo or whatever launches, and people leave, or Destiny or whatever the next big game is, and everybody leaves this game that was cool in the Division and stuff like that, leaves this game that was cool, and now the people that are left playing it are left playing a shitty game because there's no more interaction and the gameplay depends on it.
Well, you're new to MMOs, but that's a very common thing.
It is.
Rift came out, and when you ever hear like free to play, they go free to play because Star Wars, Rift, Aeon, Final Fantasy,
DC Online.
I can name 1,000 of them. Even Warcraft's starting to die off in numbers. You're right. The world is dependent on people playing, and it's only as fun as the people you're playing with and how interactive the people are. When I was really big into Warcraft, we were on a server. We were on like a hit squad, and we would go like every night, just random people in the server. We would go attack the other kingdom. We would go attack the Alliance castle. We'd kill their king. Every night we'd do it. Just be a dick. Why not? We'd screw with everyone. We'd kill everything and leave. It was fun. And they'd retaliate, and we'd retaliate. We had a great time doing it. Then a couple of weeks went by, and nobody did it anymore. I'm like, hey, let's go kill the king. They're like, what? We don't do that. I'm like, yeah, we did. We did it last week. No, we don't. Well, that gameplay experience was taken away from me. It was given to me by the community, but then taken away from me. So you're right. So all these new games, for people who are only consoles, you haven't experienced this kind of stuff yet, but it happens, and it does frustrate you. It does, and it's like, man, you're always nostalgia. Man, that was a lot of fun when we used to go kill the king. Well, it sure was, but you're never going to do it again. So
that's what kind of worries me. Like the Division looks cool, but is it a Splinter Cell game? People are jumping in and out, and things are happening. I'm kind of like, maybe I'll just wait for the next Halo and stuff like that.
When it's not a match-based online game like StarCraft, the definitive beginning, definitive end, or Diablo,
or a map-based,
multiplayer, something a little, or a race, or like a quick match or whatever. That's different. As long as you got, like people say, oh, Gears of War Judgment sucks. Hey, as long as there's 7 other people playing, you got a game. You got 8 dudes, you're playing. It doesn't matter. You might be the same 8 dudes every time you log in for the next 10 years, but you got a game. And if you don't, they'll insert AI for you. And then when it's over, it's over. You go play another game. But you're right. In an open world game where that is your world, Bungie and Ubisoft and all these other companies that are going to do this, they got to make it enticing to have people come back.
See, and that's kind of weird with me.
Right.
If, okay, now we have Xbox Live Gold and PlayStation Plus, which are required for you to play online on these things. Mm-hmm. So you can't put in Destiny. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. Doesn't seem like you can put in Destiny or the Division or the Crew into your Xbox and just have it authenticate and not be an Xbox Gold or PlayStation Plus member to play it, because it would require that. So also too, I'm kind of wondering if we're going to have the price of the games go up because these companies need to curate content throughout the game life.
Well, there's been no
because like Halo, they have map packs that come out and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Big deal. But you don't need a map pack to keep the Halo community alive.
Right.
It just, keeps the hardcore guys happy because they don't get as bored. But there's always, you don't have to buy a map pack to play Halo 3 right now. There will be people online, you can play it even though Halo 4 is out.
Right.
You can play Halo 4 now. There's stuff that's come out for free or whatever, but the price of the game didn't go up because they had the Spartan Ops, that kind of thing.
True.
So I'm wondering if we're going to go from $60 premium tier games to $70, $80, $90 for these open world games. If Destiny and the Division and stuff were $80, $90 on your PS4,
right.
Only because they're open world, and maybe the next Assassin's Creed or Splinter Cell is still at that $60 tier, would you pay more for that? If that was just priced more because they have to do this upkeep?
So, they haven't been, you're right, they haven't been clear on these new games as far as if there's an additional subscription. And that's going to turn people on or off. Warcraft, you pay for the game, and then you pay $15 a month.
Right, and that's how they've been able to keep...
That's how because you're paying your development.
Having events and stuff like that.
Well, plus the servers themselves are a lot of upkeep, and you're going to pay a portion of you're going to pay your part to connect to that. And you're right. That's funny. If you pay for a subscription, you would think people would be more inclined to play it because they're paying for it. So hopefully, people buy into it.
I'm just talking about how do these studios keep this upkeep if games are becoming more expensive to make because of this new technology.
Right.
And they've, now we're on this next gen, so now the developers need to upgrade their systems and hardware and engines and, all this overhead stuff.
And there's been...
So that's going to get passed down to us probably. And I'm wondering where this money for Xbox Live and PlayStation Plus goes if, we're getting free games now, but what about these new games that are coming out? Who's footing the bill for that? Because eventually it's going to get passed to us.
Correct. And again, that's what I'm saying, being more console based, what you're talking about's been in computers games for years now. And they're creative. They do some creative financing. They do free to plays. They do all these microtransactions. Like you saw Marvel Heroes is free to play.
Right.
Well, how are they going to make any money? You just got a free game. Well, if you want to buy Iron Man, it's $3. If they try to bank on getting you money that way. They try to, hey, we'll sell you a potion of experience that'll triple your experience for an hour, or we'll give you this better weapon for $3 or whatever. So they are trying to be creative in how they do financing, but the paid MMO in of itself is dying, and Warcraft's numbers show that. Warcraft was the MMO for the last 10 years, or however long it's been out.
10. It came out in 2004. I can't believe it's been out that long.
Yeah, it's been out a long time.
2004, 2005, yeah.
So 9 years, whatever. But at the peak, when I was playing, there was 15 million unique people paying $15 a month. And we did the calculator.
We did the math the other day, yeah.
It's a lot of numbers. So now you're down to like 7 million. So people are not playing as much anymore. Gamers like me have gamer ADD. We're bouncing, new game, Watch Dogs, this, that, whatever. We're bouncing around. So
new console, Xbox, we hate you.
That's right. After I leave, I'm gonna.
You like Xbox, you fucking loser.
Yeah, Brent and I aren't gonna be friends after.
Brent, you loser. You like the Cool Connect features, you loser. Use your Xbox to watch Hulu Plus, loser.
Right.
Go ahead.
No, you're right.
Continue.
No, you're right about everything.
I'm right. I'm a loser.
Brent and I will, after the launch date of Xbox One, Brent and I won't be friends anymore.
So we have till sometime in November.
The friendship we're in the twilight.
So why should we bother to rename this podcast
We're
segment?
in the sunset of our friendship.
It's only going till November.
Oh, that's a good point. Maybe that's why we haven't, because we both deep down inside know it's over. But you're right. So it does put a lot of pressure on these game companies to make stuff to keep you coming back, to keep paying and rebuying. And
I'm just wondering if it's going to go to this, if Destiny and the Division and shit like that.
Right.
If they're this open world, the crew, maybe Assassin's Creed 4 is $60, and it's a new system or whatever, $60.
Right.
And then the next Halo is $60. Halo 5 is $60, but maybe you pay $80, $90 for this open world game, and they charge people up front since they're not. And maybe they won't charge a monthly fee like Warcraft did, because you're still already paying the Xbox fee. But is the Xbox giving the money away to the developers? I don't know how that works.
A lot of these games have not announced their individual business models yet, so we really don't know that answer. People are willing to pay online for episodic content if it's good, and they'll keep paying for it if it's good. That's why Warcraft's constantly updating their stuff. And I'm not talking the set expansion packs, but they're constantly releasing new dungeons. You're definitely, you could see you're getting something for your money, as opposed to a game like Defiance, which is free to play. You have to buy the game, but you don't have to pay a monthly fee. There's not as much stuff. And they're not pushing the envelope like Warcraft is, because Warcraft's getting that steady revenue stream. So yeah, no one really knows no one knows how the payment models are going to come out yet.
But you never answered my question. Would you pay $30 more for this open world experience over a regular game?
Because from it, yes. Me personally, I would, because I'm from the MMO planet where I played Warcraft for 3 years, and Rachel played Warcraft for 3 years. We were paying $30 a month to these guys, and loved it. And that's the only game we played for 3 years. We just loved the hell out of some Warcraft. So, yeah, I would, and especially if you're talking $30, $40. That's peanuts compared to what I pay Warcraft.
Right.
I'm paying $15 a month. So $15 a month or $30 one-time fee. Again, we don't know. And you're right. I don't know if I don't think these game companies are going to get a cut of what PlayStation is. I think that's to hold up their own infrastructure, and Sony or Microsoft. Microsoft said they're going to offer these 300,000 servers to get more dedicated server experiences and stuff. I don't think Microsoft's paying Ubisoft saying, "Hey, we'll cover you. We're going to take our Xbox Live fee and we'll cover your infrastructure." They're probably going to. There's probably some of that. I don't know. It's a good question. No one really knows.
Okay. Well,
but I wouldn't be surprised
if all the next gen games went to $80-$90.
That would be it. They could based on all the features. We don't know the pricing yet.
Okay, but would you? I know you will buy them regardless in order to use it.
Would I pay more for Destiny than I would for?
Well, we already said that you would. We already said that you would. But if they all go, if they just say we're not going to do any of that nonsense, we're just going to up the game price, and now we get $80, $100 games, are you going to be a happy gamer or a reluctant gamer?
I'd probably be a little more reluctant, only because I didn't see a huge. I shouldn't say that. I saw graphic quality increase and multiplayer increase, but as the generations expanded from like 2 to 3 or from Xbox to 360, other than the little tack on multiplayer and stuff, I didn't really see a huge increase in content. And it's sometimes hard to justify games. Now there are some budget games that come out that are like $30 or $40, and this game's going to be so-so. So if they embrace the digital store more, and they can get if they can drive that price back down a little bit or fluctuate it, and hey, a $90 game means 1 year of updates scheduled every month, and a $60 game means this, and a $30 game means that, I'd probably feel a little better about that. But yeah, I don't feel beat over the head spending $400 for a console. But if games are coming at $80, $100 a pop, I'm going to think really long and hard about which one I get, because that's probably going to be it for a while.
It'd be harder for you to go out and buy. In that same situation where you're thinking hard about games because they're $80, $90, $100.
Yeah.
Hit that, getting closer to that $100 ceiling.
That's
I think
a lot of money. Yeah.
I guess it depends on the game, but I'm assuming that for you, if you're being a lot more harder, or maybe other gamers as well, wouldn't go out and get something on day one or pre-order it.
Correct. Yeah.
You'd wait a couple months to see how everybody felt about it, and not just the reviews and stuff like that who got to play it before.
Well, I've mentioned numerous times I've been burned on pre-orders, which is funny because I told you I pre-ordered the PlayStation 4 and I pre-ordered Battlefield 4. So if it's number 4, I will pre-order it. Anything else, I won't.
God of War 4, pre-order.
Pre-order. Pre-order. There is the hype machine with pre-orders, and you don't necessarily know what you're going to get. And I get really frustrated with some of those big game developers out there who take money from these games to advertise it and put all these little featurettes and vignettes out and stuff about it, and the game comes out to be trash, and everyone knew it.
Thank God Injustice wasn't that way.
Aliens is a perfect example. For months, we got so many featurettes, and not just from IGN, from a lot of other big game company reviewers. Polygon had stuff on it. Giant Bomb had stuff on it. Revision 3 had stuff on it. Oh, Colonial Marines, it's got the canon of the story, and it's great. And look at these cutting-edge graphics. It comes out, its Metascore is like a 20%, 30%. You could probably buy a brand new for $20 right now, if you could even find it anywhere. Probably threw them all away.
Why would I want to?
Exactly. But the hype machine, again, so, yeah, you start putting games up there, I think pre-orders are going to die. I don't think you could give me anything. I think, we're sweetening the pot with, we're going to give you an exclusive costume or whatever. Keep it, because I don't know, and I think that's the pitfall. So, yeah, I think with the amount of content these games are coming out with, especially if the crew is going to be what I think it is, and I keep going back to those because those are that style of game. Maybe not necessarily the crew, but if it's going to be one of those games where the world's constantly dynamically changing and you're playing against other people, so in a sense it's fresh content constantly. You're never doing the same thing twice. Yeah, Ubisoft's going to take a hit. Because I'm not going to need to buy another game. I got the crew. I'm going to be playing it for 6 months. And every day it's a new adventure. So they're going to have to recoup that somehow. We don't know how.
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. So that's a big pricing thing. One of the other things I wanted to mention real quick, and we're probably going to wrap it up soon. PlayStation... is opening up their console to indie developers to self-publish, which is a really big deal. We didn't mention it earlier, but it's a really big deal. Right now, if you make an app on the Android market, you can self-publish.
Right. There's no restrictions.
No restriction.
It can be a total piece of shit app, and I can put it on there.
Yep. And it's up to the consumer to choose whether or not your app
To
is
buy it
worthwhile
or not. Right.
As opposed to Apple, where you got to go through this, it's got to be Apple certified. And there is some level of comfort in that, knowing that what you're buying has been looked at by someone who knows what they're looking for, and there's no like viruses or like secret backdoors or any of that crap. They're doing the same thing that Microsoft is doing the same thing as Apple is in that example, and PlayStation is doing the same thing as Android. So they're going to allow
Anybody.
PlayStation 4 is going to allow anybody to publish.
So anybody can make a Pong ripoff and put it on PlayStation 4.
Yep, and it could be rubbish or it could be the next great game.
Will people take the old games and make an emulator or some sort of shit for the PS4?
Possibly.
And throw it up on there and still get away with it, or
I'm sure there'll be some policing. I'm sure it's not as Wild West as they make it sound. I'm sure there'll probably be some report system in there, or somebody will be looking to make sure that doesn't happen. But the point I was making is there's a couple of new games that they've been talking about, and I can't remember the name of it now. But they announced that they're not going to be coming to Xbox One. And somebody asked, well, why aren't you going to Xbox One? And they said, well, we're an independent company. We can't afford it. So I think you're going to see a lot of games coming out that...
you think because of that,
I think so.
Sony's in a better position to have a better arcade type marketplace.
Right. I think you're going to see that. It's called Contrast, the game I'm talking about. It looks very unique. It's a side scroller game that relies on shadows, and you jump across shadows. So depending on where the light source is, you can adjust where the platforms and stuff
See,
are.
what's interesting with that for me is that having an iPad, a lot of the games coming out that I won't want to play on my iPad, they come to the iPad first.
Right.
And then they go to Android. That may be because of the difference of fragmentation and versus the iOS. That may be true, but a lot of the times too, if it's not a same day launch, it'll be a couple months before it goes to Android, if it does at all.
True.
So I'm kind of curious if
there may be
maybe there's something behind this.
That's possible.
Insurance and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because if you download a game and it fucks up your credit card on your PS4 and there's no accountability, that's kind of what I'm curious about.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because if you're buying movies and TV shows and you got your cable subscription hooked up through this box and all this other thing, and you're going to let some other game develop, what you think is a game come on there, is it going to have access to all that? That's kind of... And Sony is the one who had those accounts crash a couple years ago, or a year or two ago. Remember when their whole system went down?
Yeah, they were giving away the free games for that.
And did people get their credit card information stolen?
Information
and
was
stuff?
stolen, yeah, but yep.
So I'm kind of curious. This is the same company, and they're going to open it up to everybody? Hope they got their shit together, man.
You're right, and I guess the point I take away from that is, PlayStation is really, really, really going all in on we're the gamer's console. You're gonna get the best gaming exclusive content here. But you're right, that does make you wonder. The way I look at it is, a lot of the great next games that have come out yet are already out there, and just nobody knows about them because they're all these indie games. And it's really odd to me, another 180. Microsoft owned this. They talk about console wars and everything. Xbox is the premier console right now. They've outsold everybody. They're arguably the best. Their store is the best. Their interface is the best. Their party system is the best. And they got a really strong lineup of independent games. A lot of them go to PC, so it's not like you have to get them on Xbox. But if we're isolating just the console world between PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, there's a lot of independent games you will never get anywhere but on the 360.
Minecraft. Yeah. Right now.
Well, I think they might have signed an exclusive agreement. But there's a lot of independent games out there. And it's
the ninja game you didn't want to watch me play.
Oh, God.
Shadow of the Ninja.
We asked the survey.
I should get that. I should buy that.
We never got a response.
I like that game.
No one ever responded to my survey question. If Brent and I are having fun playing a 2-player game, is it okay for Brent to stop playing the 2-player game to play a single-player game for an hour? Horribly.
It was on your console. You said, yeah, you should check out these other games I got.
I said check out peruse, not deep dive. So anyways, so I think that's interesting. Again, it's another shift in philosophy. It's something I wanted to mention earlier when we were talking about the two consoles. I think in the coming months, I think you'll see more from Xbox trying to hopefully rebrand their message a little bit.
Here's where I'm kind of concerned. Xbox has this history of being the premier party system service.
Absolutely.
App service. You can download. Sorry if I'm hitting the microphone. Download and install all of these apps on here.
Yep.
And use them seamlessly and stuff like that. So it's already set up, and they're building on top of that same architecture. It seems like, and Windows 8, which has been a big hit with everybody that's been using it and stuff like that. I'm kind of concerned that PlayStation doesn't have all this stuff together and is kind of instituting the same thing. If it's worse than than Xbox 360 service, right, and it's even worse than the Xbox One service, and is Xbox One still gonna, after a couple months after the word kind of gets out that PlayStation is it's $100 cheaper, but it doesn't work as great as it did on Microsoft. Are we gonna see? Do you think we're gonna see people migrate from PlayStation 4 back to Microsoft?
Possibly.
Which they swore off because of the always online and DRM. Well, I mean, you're paying a little bit more for the services. It's been there. It's already there.
Gamers, I shouldn't say gamers. People have very short memories. Society as a whole has very short memories. People burn, I hate EA. I hate EA. EA screwed everyone with SimCity. Well, I just pre-ordered Battlefield 4. That's an EA game.
There's a UFC game from EA,
There's
Jim.
a UFC game coming out. Oh, by the way. And what else is coming out for EA? Oh, probably the biggest, most hyped game forever, Star Wars Battlefront 3. So people are like, they're only as good as 2 seconds ago. I'm sticking to my guns on the Xbox thing. I'm the only honorable one out there. And if I offended all 3 listeners,
I've got this on tape now. I can call you out on it.
If I buy an Xbox in 5 years, we won't be. We already established we won't be friends after you get yours. But, yeah. So people do have a short memory. So maybe this stuff will go away.
No. You were gonna say something I could do to you if you bought an Xbox One. Go ahead, and continue that statement. You said if I buy an Xbox One this generation, fill in the blank.
Well, what I was going to say...
What privilege are you going to afford me to punish you for going back on your word?
That's another podcast. Those are... Maybe that is the BJ podcast.
Oh, no! I wouldn't want that. I'd ask you to shave first if I really did, but, just saying.
No, my point is people have a short memory. People forget easily. People forgive easily. The latest, greatest thing, people have no backbone on. It does pain me that the next generation of Halos and Gears of War are coming out at some point, and I'm not going to be part of them. But I don't want to stand for all the nonsense they had. That said, if Microsoft does backpedal, I will laugh at them for it, but I'll go buy an Xbox. Absolutely. I absolutely will. I'm not going to die with the sword. I'm not going to be like that Chinese guy in the middle of the island who still thinks World War II is going on. Like, the war is over. But to me, the stuff that they said is very anti-gamer and very anti-business, and people shouldn't be happy that they're giving away their rights. People are like, oh, what does it matter? You're always online. Well, that's really not the point. It's like, well, what does it matter? Well, to me it does. So it'll be interesting to see. Like I said, I speculate that Xbox will be recalling something in some capacity. They really got hammered in the press this week. I think they need to regroup. They canceled their post-E3 thing, which was huge. They're not answering questions. Everyone on Twitter is just pretending like it didn't happen. Larry Hrib, a.k.a. Major Nelson, he's taken 99% of these shots. His form, if you go read his forum right now, his comments, people are just flaming the shit out of him.
Thank you for your feedback. He's like, thank you for your feedback.
Yeah,
is that all he's allowed to say?
He's like the hearing officer for us. We hear you. Yeah, his.
I hear you. I see you.
His poor webpage is just, flame central. And, I
bet he's like, thanks, guys. I need a raise.
Well, he had mentioned before he was taking some time off because of the crazy media week. I mean, he's talking, like, here, I'll give you an example. I'm pulling up Major Nelson's site right now. Latest post is about Xbox One achievements. He talks about how we're going to have new achievements that are going to be dynamic, which is cool. They're not going to be hard-coded the game anymore. So based on how people play, Xbox is going to be able to pull your information, and they're going to find out what people are doing, and they're going to have achievements that may last a week or a month or span over different games, which is fun. I like it. I used to be an achievement whore, so this is exciting to me. I like this.
Now you're going to be a trophy whore because you're beyond PlayStation.
First comment, nobody cares. Remove online check-in. Number one comment. The number of upvotes, like 1,500 comments, 700 upvotes. Nobody cares. Remove the online check-in. There you go. So Microsoft is coming out with great things right now. They're talking about cool stuff, but no one cares. So they need to get these people back. They're in the deep end right now.
In 6 months when it launches, though, are they going to have the same memory? I mean,
and again, no one knows. Will people have a short memory? Maybe not. Maybe people see Rise and be like, "Whoa, Rise!" or "Whoa, Titanfall! I got to get it." It's to be determined, Brent.
All right, you heard it here first. Yeah, I sound like that Microsoft guy announcing the price. You heard it here first, folks. It's too many Fs.
£400,
$399. Oh wait, that's the PS4 price.
Burn.
Oh, okay, that's another thing.
Yeah.
That price slide was a lot different. Do you think they went back after Microsoft and had a quick, hey, we're going to announce this now?
I think so. I believe that EA. I believe that.
I don't think that Sony went and said, "Hey, we're going to cut $100 off of our price just during the day." But I did think that was the price to begin with, and that's what they were always planning. But I think maybe after Microsoft's thing, they kind of went back and said, we're going to address the DRM.
Absolutely.
And we're gonna announce our lower price at the same time to take advantage of this.
I don't know how they calculate this. I think they take turns based on who's coming out first. I don't know how that works. Maybe they pay for it. To me, you want to be last because you get to hear everything the other guy says, and then you get to you could go point by point. They could have come out and said, "Hey, slide one. Let's open up Microsoft's presentation. Slide one. This sucks. Here's why." I mean, they could have really done that if they wanted to. So I think after there was so much backlash, like I said, go find the video for PlayStation 3 where they talk about the debut price. Listen to the people and they announced $600. Everyone's like, what? I think there's so much backlash and you want to get that initial fanboy pop. So I think they were going to come in lower always. I do. Because like I said, I think you don't have to pay for all this.
There's no way that they went to their businessmen and said, "Hey, cut off $100," and that was okayed.
But I will bet you they had both. I will guess they had both ready. I will guess that they, in my opinion, we'll never know. I think they were always going to come in under Microsoft, but...
Well, they'll still make a profit coming in under Microsoft. Maybe they were going to go the same.
I think if Microsoft came out and said their console 700, PlayStation's would have been like 600. Like, I think they were just going to undercut. I think they probably had 20 of those slides ready to go. Whatever Microsoft's price is, we're going to come in lower. Straight up. Because we need to, we're really
regain some ground from
Sony's
this last
really
generation.
Sony the company. I'm not talking just our little video game division. Sony, like big Sony, they're hurting. People aren't buying TVs like they used to. A lot of the electronics people aren't buying like they used to. They last longer. Well, they're also more expensive, and there's a lot of cheap knockoffs now that are biting into their business. So Sony as a whole is hurting. So they need this. They really. I mean, video game. I'm not going to say video games is their primary division, but it might be now. I mean, video games is like $1 billion industry. It's like a $6 billion industry a year, or $10 billion. It's probably going up. So they want to make sure they get a foothold. So I absolutely believe that they had they had 10 of those slides ready to go. Specifically, point by point and everything, I think after they saw the backlash from Microsoft's premiere, I think they had that slide already ready to go. About the used games and everything. I think the price slide at the end there was just ready to go. You know, they had 10 of them and they just inserted it at the end. It could have been like a value, like Microsoft slide minus, like some computer code that says Microsoft's price minus.
It's an Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah, exactly. Oops, wrong slide.
Connected to the slide.
So that's my opinion. I think, like I said, I don't say who won or lost E3. I think PlayStation's in really good shape. They came into this kind of, with the mentality. I think people had the mentality, don't screw it up. Just don't say anything that pisses people off, and you got in the bag, and they did that. And then they went above and beyond that with those last two slides. And I've never seen, and I've been watching E3s for, like I said, a very long time. I've never seen a standing ovation like that for that long. It was about 30 seconds. That reminded me of like when they do the political, like the Congress and all that crap, where everyone's like cheering and clapping when, this State of the Union.
Right.
It reminded me of that. I'm like, all we're doing is we're giving you what you already had. And people are like, it's like pandemonium. So
did you stand up and clap? Did you stand up and clap?
I stood up and went, yes! Really loud. I did.
Did you do the whole yes with the arm motion?
I did.
Yes. Grabbed in the air and pulled it down, baby.
I did.
Yes.
Yes. And
Pre-order mine now.
the absolute funniest thing is Rachel was already sleeping, and I went and woke her up to tell her.
Baby, guess what? I just pre-ordered a $400 console.
She's like, huh? She's what? I go, Rach, are you awake? She's like, huh? And I'm like shaking her. I'm like, Rach, guess what? She's like, well, half asleep. I go, we just ordered a PlayStation 4. She's like,
Fuck off. I gotta get up and go to flight tomorrow.
That's right. So, that's my wrap on E3. I'm glad we got to do this podcast because I didn't want to type all this shit. And I do appreciate your opinion, although it's wrong about the Xbox One.
Yeah.
I don't hope that...
I'm kind of, I could go either way, but I had a PS2 or half a PS2, but I played a lot shorter than I did this Xbox.
Right.
Because I got a PS2 after, or just as the Xbox launched.
Right.
And I played it. It was at it was at Mandy's apartment for a while, so I didn't play it as much. And then when I got it home for summers and stuff, I played it a little bit more. But I wasn't in the PS2 generation. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I have played my Xbox more exclusively, I guess. Personally, a lot more. I've probably put in a lot more hours on my Xbox than I did a PS2.
Right.
So maybe that's where my Xbox thing's coming with, because that's what I have now. I like the thing. I like that everything's gonna transfer over.
I'm a loyal Xbox guy. I was. I mean, when the Microsoft store opened, I was ranting and raving. Remember I told you to go there to get gift cards?
Yeah.
I was hanging out there all the time. I went and got my Halo 4 there, the pre-order, or the midnight release party. I was there.
Gift me some points, bitch, okay? Gift me some points.
Gift me some points. I have a lot of points.
Before they go away with it.
I achievement hoard. I had an account. I made a new account years later after Rachel got me a brand new Xbox. I started over with a brand new screen name. I took 5,000 achievement points and dumped them. I went back and got them all, and then got another 7,000 because I loved it so much. I'm almost at 13,000 now. I achievement hunt. I'm a whore in achievement points. I love it. And I loved it. I love everything about the 360. All they had to do was put a bigger processor on that sucker, and I was a day one purchase. And they blew it.
I'm with
and I think there's a lot of people like me who feel the same way.
I'm with it.
So, I mean, I have PlayStation 3, but it didn't get touched. That thing is on fire. That thing's on all the time now. I'm back to PlayStation. I'm getting back into it. I'm probably going to get PlayStation Plus here soon because I'm very intrigued about it by now. So I think their stock's on the rise. And as far as Nintendo goes, I don't know. I think they're in big trouble.
I think it's just kind of sad that they were once the premier thing, and it was them versus Sega. And then these two upstarts came along, and Nintendo fell on their laurels because they have a lot of original games, but it seems like now they're relying on those characters that came out 20 years ago.
That's all they got.
To keep their game system afloat.
That's all they have now. All the third parties have pulled out. And if you notice, a lot of these new games aren't even being offered to Wii U. Some of them are, but it wasn't as innovative as people thought. You can have Smart Glass or not, but to force you to have Smart Glass, very similar how Nintendo forces you to have the tablet, no one cares. Battery life's on it's like 4 hours. You got to keep it plugged in. The cord's like 2 foot long. Well, I play a lot. I mean, I would burn through that in a couple. I mean, obviously, I burned through it in 4 hours, but I sit there and play marathon sessions. So it's just bad design. I don't know. No one wanted it. It's like, but now we're stuck with it.
I think they got into the Wii and they innovated. They definitely innovated. Because the Wii was the coolest, hottest thing for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
If you had a Wii, you had to go try out Wii Sports. You had to go, do the Wii Fit and all these other things.
Mario
Definitely
Galaxy,
innovated.
One of the best games I ever played.
But I think they're
in trouble.
Instead of staying with the innovation and just furthering it a little bit more, I think they tried to have a huge innovation again, and they lost it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
But even with the GameCube, when the GameCube was out, people were not looking at it as much as they were the Xbox. Well, not the Xbox One anymore, because there's no 2, there's no 3. It's the Xbox One's a new one, but the original Xbox and the PS2 or PS1, it wasn't. It's kind of weird.
The problem with Nintendo is they have a short memory span. So they give up on consoles quickly. I mean, you look at the last exclusive Wii title, not the Wii U, the Wii launch, not a launch title. It's been a while. They did that with the GameCube. They just kind of forget about it. They're like, we're working on something new. We'll see in a couple of years. So you're stuck with a dead console, and you're not getting third-party support.
It's definitely an interesting, but I do think that they dominate the mobile,
Oh yeah,
the portable gaming world,
they got that.
just in between the DS and the Vita.
Yeah, maybe the Vita will make a comeback with the PlayStation 4.
I think this Android and iPhones and iPads definitely. I think in all in mobile gaming they dominate.
Well, yeah, because there's more
devices. Everybody's got one.
Yeah.
I think that's the downfall.
People wonder what's Nintendo's next move. Maybe they'll be a solely mobile company. We don't know.
I don't know.
They didn't learn their mistake with the Wii U, that's for sure. They definitely made a mistake there.
Anyway.
That's all I got.
All right, we're going to wrap up.
Yep.
You're welcome for the extra 20 minutes. For Jim Afanis,
Bonus 20 minutes.
For Jim Afanis, I'm Brent Casino signing off for BK's Bullets. Who knows when we'll be back.
Holla.